production crew, and I'm here, one of my favorite co-hosts of all time. What's up, Adam?
Well, hello, Alex. It's good to be here co-hosting with you.
Yes, absolutely. I feel like it's been a hot minute since I've seen you. I'm not going to lie, even though it's been like a week, maybe not.
It's been a week. That's too long. That's too long. I'm here all cooped up, and I'm missing all of my interactions with you, the dungeon, everybody, every minute of the day.
You're going to make me cry. I cannot have that. But speaking of which, we have some awesome new competitors I also have not seen or talked to in a while, so I'm excited to chat with them as well. If you're not familiar with Schmoebates, thank you so much for hanging out with us. It is our Schmoedown-themed debate show where we argue and debate to the death on all things Schmoedown, asking Schmoedown's greatest and most important questions. We are doing a little bit of a different format than we're used to, so if this is your first time hanging out with us, even better. So how we're going to go about it, the voting style, is that we actually have 3 different questions both of our competitors are going to be arguing. Tonight it's themed on the dungeon, arguably one of the greatest factions ever. You know, no bias, obviously, you know. But
no bias whatsoever.
No, absolutely not. Yeah. And
we're like, let's pick all the best people, and they all just happen to be dungeon. That's it.
Oh yeah, exactly. That's my guess.
The most entertaining faction.
The most magical, majestic. Yes, I'm not.
We are called magical very often.
I couldn't agree more.
The magic is back.
Back, absolutely. So we have 3 rounds of questions that they're going to be debating. We're starting with an opening statement, open debate, and lastly, a closing statement as well. Now, the voting process is going to be different from previously. Now, in the past, we've actually had the viewers determine our winner exclusively. Now, however, we are going to be having 3 people to be issuing the votes. We're going to be having my co-host, Adam, is going to be issuing one of the votes. We have a mystery ghost judge that's going to make an appearance later on after we wrap up all the questions.
A ghost?
Yes. It's actually Casper, the friendliest ghost. So, yeah.
Well, it's better than one of those poltergeists. You couldn't get an answer out of them. If you had a poltergeist and you're trying to get one of them to be a ghost judge, it'd just be chaos. Casper will play along.
Exactly. I had
to warm the heart while he's at it.
Ghost ever, and I was like, it's got to be Casper. That's the way it is.
One question has never been answered: who killed Casper? I mean, he's dead. I'm just saying, it's open for a reboot. Let's solve that mystery.
That is an answer I do not want to find the answer of, though. That sounds awful. That sounds terrifying.
Right? But, you're gonna go R-rated if you've got. He's a child, right?
Yeah, and it results in their death. So that's definitely R-rated for sure, unfortunately. But so we have Adam, our ghost judge, and last but not least, our tiebreaker is actually going to be you guys' votes. You are going to have a few minutes in between each round to vote, and so just saying, it's going to be more important than ever for you to let us know your opinions, make your votes known. And Jake Iacovetta, one of the best people I know, he's going to be setting out the links and all that good stuff. So we just want to make sure you are not voting just to vote because you think someone looks sexy or whatever it may be. We want you to vote based on the arguments exclusively.
Look, both of the people we're bringing on here are very sexy, and you're going to think, I'm just going to vote on the sexiest. Do not do that. We have got to get this a legitimate debate. We just can't let your feelings for these 2 people to come into it like that. Just put it aside. Put those emotions aside and play the game.
Woo! On that note, let me just cool down a little bit. All the heat that's going on in here.
It's getting hot in here. But that's because I have the window closed because there's traffic outside.
Well, that's good. That's good thinking for sure. All right, let's go ahead and introduce our competitors today for our dungeon-themed debate. Our first competitor is, you might know him as Spider. I know him as one of the coolest people of all time, but also alternative Robert, the cocaine dolphin, Parker.
Robert Parker! We're doing like baseball announcers.
Yeah, that's perfect. That's great. Yeah, thanks for having me back. It's been a while since I've been on here, but I'm excited to be here to represent the dungeon in an all-dungeon show.
Nice.
Yeah. Absolutely. I know you are obviously you're like hashtag dungeon for life. So I'm excited to see your passions really play out in that.
Oh yeah, I'm excited.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, let's go ahead and introduce our next competitor, Mr. Eric Zipper Z-Man. What up, Boo-Boo?
Hey, guys. Second.
Good to see you all.
Eric Zipper.
Cool. Thanks,
So I'm
Adam.
doing the baseball announcer.
Sure.
Bringing you to the plate.
Yeah, baseball, sports.
Sports.
Sports ball.
And speaking of sports, future singles champion Eric Zipper.
This guy.
There it is.
Am I
There it is.
biased? Maybe. Okay. All right. So we've already chatted prior to this, about all the good stuff, all these new voting processes and everything, all that good stuff. Do you guys have any final questions before we actually jump to the actual debating and arguing? No?
Yeah.
I think I'm going to go with a mail-in vote, as that's all the rage now. But it was going to take too long.
Yes. Yeah. Just want to pull from the chat. What are sports indeed? Sports.
Nobody knows.
Exactly. For sure. Also, we have a few people in the chat. A few people in the chat that just Alan's real quick to say dolphins do coke through their blowholes.
You got to see it.
You got it. You got to
see it to believe it.
But scientists have thought for years that dolphins were awesome to party with, and now we know.
Yeah. Very, very awesome to party with. Indeed. Jake Lowe's Adams versus Adams to possess power. I don't believe it. There's a lot of people in the chat. No, Adam, I'm not on today. I'm just hanging out as he is always. He's always just hanging out. He's never doing
hanging out. Lon Harris.
Hey, you got that voice for it.
Man, I really want to, if you actually were doing anything sport related as an announcer, I probably actually would tune in if you're actually doing it. But
well, maybe I'll have to do a sports announcer for the entirety of Star Wars sometime and see if that makes people entertains people.
Well, let's go ahead and get that.
Yeah, you should do that.
Yeah, right?
Maybe. Yeah. It seems like it's something you could possibly do.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
With minor success. Maybe not.
If I do that, it'll be on the Movie Guys on Vimeo.
Oh, of course. Yeah, obviously.
Good plug. That was good.
All right, so we're going to get down to our first question. Adam's going to be reading all the questions today. For the first question, we will be starting with Eric Z-Man Zipper. For the second question, we'll be starting with Parker. And for the third and final question, we're going to be using this majestic-looking coin, if I can whip it out of my bag, majestic-looking coin to determine who is going first and who's going second, who wants to be the boom and who wants to be the fifth AMA. Oh, wait. This is the boom. We're gonna be flipping boom.
Okay.
Oh, I see.
Versus
I want to be the boom.
Here comes
Eric
the
wants to
boom.
be the boom.
Zip can be the boom.
Here comes the boom, and it's me. I'm the boom.
You are.
I'm Kevin James.
Yeah, I was going to say, with your favorite comedian, Kevin James. Who doesn't know that movie? That should be its entire own exhibition match.
I actually like that movie. It's a cute little movie. Okay. All right. Adam, will you please do the honor in reading our first question?
Why, I'd love to do the honors. Question number 1. What former/retired Schmoedown competitor would you put in the dungeon?
Okay, there's a lot of people to choose from, and we are going to be starting with Eric. Like I mentioned, you have 1 minute on the clock to let us know in an opening statement, starting now.
Great. So this is a player that retired pretty recently, but this is the only person in the Schmoedown that I have been kind of starstruck by when I first met them at my second Schmoedown event, because I have been reading Drew McWeeney's reviews since I was 12 years old. I think Drew is the best. And he's obviously an incredible player, as we've seen over and over again. I mean, he tends to be a little bit better in teams, but great, fine. I just think he would be a great fit. He has the knowledge, he has the gravitas, and mostly he fits the main criteria for adding people to the dungeon, which is just people that you want to hang out with. I know that's Kaiser's main criteria, and it's also my main criteria. Because I just want to hang out and talk movies. So that's my pick.
Thanks, Sip.
All right.
I won't let that affect my judgment. But.
Definitely not, for sure. All right, great pick, McQueenie. Definitely an amazing competitor. And over to you, Parker. You also have 1 minute on the clock to let us know your pick. Starting now.
Awesome. So I agree with it. One of the main criteria is just somebody who's going to hang out on call, hang out, grab a beer with them, and or just hang out and talk, just chill, crack jokes, dig at each other, just have a good time, just be a family. That's really what the dungeon is, even behind the scenes too. Like we're a close group of people, and that's why I chose Matt Nost. Who is a former champion, who is a capable player. I don't think he's going to go out there and win the singles title. I don't think he has that kind of ambition, but a very capable supporting player, especially to certain people in the dungeon. I personally think, like, not just for the trivia knowledge do they match up well, but I also think just personality-wise, I want to see Matt Nost and Videodrew on a team together, because how incredible would that be? And also to watch, like, Nost, play off of Kaiser in promos or on challenges. Nost was always one of the funniest players ever to be in the game and play off the people on the desk. I think Nost would be a perfect fit for the dungeon.
And perfect timing for sure. Matt Nost and Drew McWeeny. These are fantastic picks, both prior champions. And I can't wait to see it argued. What do you think about these picks? Who would you like to be teamed up with overall, Adam?
But that's funny. Having met Drew McWeeny fairly recently, within the last year and a half, coming into the Schmoedown, I forget that I also have been reading Drew McWeeny since 1998 or something. Like the first job I had that had internet. I was always on Ain't It Cool News every day. That's an interesting point. I forget, oh yeah, I know Drew McWeeny twice now in life. So I think that's an interesting pick. I like his I Love the 80s or whatever podcast as well. Matt Nost I don't know as well, so they're gonna have to make the argument.
Yeah, part of me say a little bit of filling those knowledge gaps for sure for Adam over here. I think top 10 is one of my favorite teams of all time when it comes to Schmoedown, but I'm not going to let bias get the best of me. And same for, Above the Line, also one of my other favorite Schmoedown teams of all time. Gotcha. All right, we are going to be going into our open debate. You guys got 4 minutes to start arguing and really get us in your favor. Starting right now.
So just real quick, who Matt Nost is, a little bit of a history lesson for maybe newer Schmoedown fans. Matt Nost was the old teammate of Roka back in season 2 through 4-ish. He then got teamed with Bibiani, and they were an incredible team. They made it to, I think, a quarter or a semifinal of an Ultimate Schmoedown. They were managed by Emma Fife. They were a hysterical team. Matt Nost, again, like I said, former team champion. They had he and Roka had their great fights against the Patriots, and he sometimes played better than Roka, sometimes at Roka's level, sometimes a little bit below. A little bit of a hot and cold player, but definitely capable to be a great support player on a team, which is what I think the dungeon needs from a player right now. I don't think the dungeon really needs or honestly has room for McWeeny, who, I think we would need him in singles, we would need him in teams, we just need him. I don't think the dungeon needs a new face of the dungeon, which is what I think McWeeny would be. I think he'd be a little bit too big of a star to bring into our dynamic right now.
Okay.
All right, cool. I love getting lectures on history from literal children. No. But other than that, look, I think Matt Nost would be great, but I think Drew McWeeny, like you said, is a star player, and I think we can always use more star players in the dungeon. I don't think you can have too many star players in the dungeon. I think he would be great on a team.
Season. You can't have too many.
Okay, well, valid point. But we can't have too many. They can have too many. We cannot. Also, I just think that Drew has a stillness and a calmness and a seriousness that would be really fun to watch Kaiser bounce off of. Sure. I think that the dynamics would be really interesting, and he would be a great addition. I don't know. Yeah. He's.
No, you're right. He is a great player, and he would be a lot of fun. I just I feel.
Oh, you just said it right. Cool. So I just win. I win this one, right? Parker said I was right.
No, my point is I think he would be better with other factions. I think there are other factions, other managers specifically, that I think play off of him better. Kaiser needs people who are just a little bit kooky, a little bit wild, a little bit crazy. And I think Drew McWeeny is a little bit too much of a straight man. He needs a Sam Levine. He needs a Coy Jandrew. He needs a Shannon maybe. He needs somebody who isn't quite as off the edge as Kaiser's, and I love Kaiser. I think he'd be able to make it work, but I don't think it's the right fit for McWeeny were he to come back. If McWeeny's going to come back, I would love to see him come back. I don't think the dungeon is the right place for him. If Matt Nose were to come back, there is no other place I would rather have him be than the dungeon.
All right. Valid. I mean, sure. Great. Yeah. Whatever. But again, it all comes down to one thing over everything else, which is who do I want to hang out with? So it really comes down to, do I want to hang out with Drew McWeeny more than you want to hang out with Matt Nost? And I say yes.
that is a very, and I say no. Matt Nost is just one of those guys, like, he's not a critic. I mean, he does a podcast about movies with Roca. He's just a dude who has seen movies, and he just seems so approachable and so nice. You said it yourself. You've been starstruck by McWeeny. He's a little bit intimidating in person. He's not somebody that I personally would feel comfortable going up to and being like, "Hey, let's go get a drink. How you doing, man? Let's talk for a little bit."
Agreed. But when someone intimidates me, I become determined to make it onto the other side of that like weird force field. To be like, I have to get like in their good graces and make them laugh or whatever. So it's a personal challenge too. Yeah. You know,
I have too much social anxiety for that. The thing that you said. I would rather hang out with somebody who is more approachable and who is going to reach out first and say, "Hey, do you want to hang out?" And then also just chat movies insteed of in a very critiquing way, like, "Oh, this is what was wrong with that."
You're picking those because you think he'll text you first. That's how you're picking him, because you think he'll text you first.
I did say that.
Time. Okay.
We all want to be loved.
Indeed, we all want to be loved, especially here in the dungeon. It's all about the love. Yes, these are really great picks overall. Okay, Adam, how would you feel about, after these kind of descriptions and these kind of these competitors and everything, not only who do you think would best fit into the dungeon, but also who would you be excited to, train with and hang out with, during these training sessions?
Well, Parker has jogged my memory as to Matt Nost. Now I do know the past, and somebody mentioned that they had a big feud with the Patriots, and I remember who was the team that feuded with the Patriots? Was it top 10?
Top 10 is Roca Nost, yeah.
But I think Parker made a really good point here, which is the difference between movie experts, which we would call Drew McWeeny. He is a movie expert. He is a font of knowledge. He is, a legendary in his criticism and writing on movies. But you compared him to a movie expert versus dudes who have seen movies. And I do have to say that Matt knows that the idea that he's more of just a dude who's seen movies, that does feel much more dungeon to me. I've said to Zipper many times, we have the conversations that you used to have when you worked in a video store, which I worked in as well. So that does appeal to me. That the difference between movie experts versus dudes who have seen movies. And I got to say, if you're going to take those two descriptions and go, which one describes the dungeon? It might be dudes that have seen movies.
Yeah. Not kidding. You definitely hit it right on the head as far as how casual fans a lot of people in the dungeon are. They're not huge, well-known faces, within, huge hosts of shows and podcasts and all that good stuff, but they are such true aggressive fans of cinema for sure. And now I know you guys kind of talked about how they're both really great supporting players. They both are prior champions on different teams, obviously great successful competitors overall. Now we did hear from our ghost judge. You guys painted a picture a little bit about not only are they great supporting competitors, but who would they be paired with? What leagues would they participate in? How would they actually contribute to the dungeon overall? Like, what would they bring to the table other than, their beautiful faces? Okay. Is there
both have? Let's just be clear.
They both. Oh, absolutely, of course. Is there anything else that you want to hear to be addressed in the closing statement, Adam?
Let's see. What would I want to hear in the? No, I think that's a very good point. It's like teaming them up with somebody in the dungeon. How would they play as a teams member? How would they play as a singles member? Like let's hear that. Or maybe in some sort of a free for all, just representing the dungeon or something. Mm-hmm. What are the advantages across all the type of Schmoedown forms of answering trivia.
Absolutely.
Or even like a video, doing your hype video and those sort of things. Like, yeah, how would they fit into all those things, each of them?
At the end of the day, we want to know who else can also represent the dungeon and play IG. That's the real thing. Because there's not enough IG competitors.
I thought about genuinely thought about choosing Mark Donica, because I think I think that would be a perfect actual fit, but we don't need more IG players.
I also almost picked Donica for the same reason. I had the exact same thought process of like, I should pick it. Oh no, we don't need more IG.
Yeah. As far as I'm concerned, more is more when it comes to factions and all, and more leagues you can play and everything. But anyway, let's just kind of jump to it. We're going to be starting with our closing statements again, starting with Eric. Sorry, I cut you off there.
No, I'm saying the most important thing here is the two people that they have picked cannot compete in Star Wars, and I think that's very important for the dungeon. There's only room for one Star Wars competitor. That's all.
Totally.
That's true.
Absolutely. All right, we're going to be starting with Eric for our closing statement to you, my dude. Have 1 minute to wrap it up on a nice bow and really not only sell Adam, our ghost judge, but also the viewers that are also going to be voting as well to really get them in your favor. You have 1 minute starting now.
And by the way, Ghost Judge is coming up on Netflix as a TV show. Exactly. I'm putting that in production right now.
Well, that was a great bit, Adam. Thanks for eating in my time. Appreciate it.
I'll start it right now.
There we go. Hey, I got you the time back. Hey, I just wanted to tell you before you have a chance to answer that I got you that time back. So, you're welcome. Anyway, go ahead.
God damn it.
Starting now. There you go.
Great. So
the one thing I won't stand is
oh my
bits.
God.
I won't stand for bits. I just won't do it. This is not the place
it's a good
for
bit.
that.
It's fine.
Right.
It's a good bit.
Start
Keep
there
going.
No.
Great. Thank you. Cool. So you asked a question, which was, what would this person specifically bring to the dungeon that the dungeon doesn't have? And I have two big answers to that question. One of them is wins, right? Like, as the season goes, we have been having ups and downs. Wins are always appreciated. Drew would bring us wins. And then there is a second answer to that question, which is a little bit of legitimacy. Like you said, it's cool that we're a faction of just dudes that watch movies. We're the guys that go and like smoke weed under the bleachers and are like, whatever, we're the done. Like, that's great. But to have one person in our faction with a little bit of respectability that we could present as sort of like a forward facing, while at the same time we're also corrupting him and turning him into just as much of a miscreant as we are, that's appealing to me. So yeah, those are my answers. That's it. I yield my time. Unless you had something you wanted to add, Adam. Adam, did you have anything?
I'm sorry. Could you repeat everything you just said?
God damn it.
Don't buy into it.
Nope. That's it. I'm out. My time has been yielded.
Not crying. Okay, legitimate.
Look, I'm just waiting till someone else talks so I can start talking again.
Yeah.
Faction, lots of wins, especially from a competitor with a lot of wins under his belt. Let's see how Parker can really combat that, really trailblazing Matt Nost as well. Overall, amazing person and comedian. You have 1 minute starting now.
We have somebody who's legitimate. It's Kevin Smets. He has a title. We had somebody who was clean cut, who was turned into a miscreant. That's me. So we have those two things. The thing that Drew McWeeny also has, as far as the character stuff of the Schmoedown, the promos and the videos and the bouncing off of Kaiser, he never really bought into that. No matter which teammate he had, no matter what manager he had, he never really bought into the theatricality of the Schmoedown. He is an excellent player, but didn't buy into that. Matt Nost did. When he was playing with Bibiani, he was doing little dances and little jigs, and he was buying into the performative aspect of the Schmoedown, which is something that I think if you're going to be partnering with somebody like Video Drew, or partnering with somebody like Andres, or partnering with either of you two, like that's something that you need, is that theatricality, that performative aspect. And I think that's something that Matt Nost brings that Drew McWeeny doesn't. And I have nothing more to say, and I'm not going to let Adam go for a bit.
Okay. All right.
We
have like a good 10 seconds left.
Excellent bit, though.
All right. Okay, so overall, like you said, you had a little bit to combat, a little bit on Drew McWeeny about, the faction already has like a lot of legitimacy, but McQueenie would add a certain level of legitimacy because you guys are all like, hanging out smoking pot under the bleachers. I respect that. All right.
Yeah.
I feel you. Okay. So how we're going to be going about this next process, before we go over to our next question, we are going to be waiting 4 glorious minutes for you guys to go vote. Let us know your opinions based on these arguments today, and you can vote right there on that link that Jake, our wonderful Jake here at C2A, is posted. And we're also going to find out in our little private chat, Adam and our ghost judge, what they think, who they think is going to be the
All right, I'm talking to Ghost Judge here right now.
Mm-hmm.
Hi, Ghost Judge.
Ghost judge person. Hello, indeed. Okay. Well, overall,
I'm going to mute myself.
I think you're both wrong. It should have been 100% Rachel Cushing because she's a triple threat. Yeah, you're right. Okay, I know.
She's incredible as a player. Yes,
I would feel bad about corrupting Rachel Cushing.
Yeah,
I would like.
that's what I'm saying. I thought about picking her, then I'm like, man.
Oh,
I couldn't do that to her.
I could totally picture Clark Wolf though.
That'd be cool. Yeah, she has a little bit of that.
I feel like she would really be the yin to Kaiser's yang almost. Because she would look at it like Kaiser would be like, "Hey, you want to help me like sell some, like Nick Cage DVDs in a parking lot at some middle school or something."
He actually was Claude Van Damme, but you're close.
Yeah, but Clark Wolf would be like, "No, Kaiser, we're not going to do that." I can picture her really butting heads in a wonderful way with Kaiser. So that was just me.
I thought about picking her as well, but I picked her for one of mine in the last episode of this that I did, and I was like, I can't repeat myself.
I guess so.
If you think we're being nice and acquiescing now, just wait. I don't know if it's gonna get better or worse.
Okay. Yes, we have a little bit of time left. We have just under 2.5 minutes for you guys to kind of go vote and let us know your opinions. And, we have a lot of people in the chat. Just actually scratch that. Let me just gotta go back to some of these super chats real quickly. Thank you so much for, all your generous donations and everything. Movie Finobi says, what is burn notice? Is Adam Witty, who worked at a video store. Does law need a prescription? Fire, burning questions. Yo, that's some of the important questions here.
I worked at a Blockbuster for exactly 4 days.
Hours, and I wanted to hear that story. I still want to hear the story. Why only 4 days?
That's weird.
I got in a fight with the manager. He wouldn't let me take time off for a family thing, and I just kind of stormed out. It was fine.
Not a physical altercation, of course, because obviously.
No, I think I was 18 or 19.
Oh, that's you're at that age where that's acceptable,
I'm almost there.
Yeah, to just be like, fuck this place.
Yeah, that's where it's you can have that little table flip moment. If you did that yesterday, I'd be a little more concerned. I'd be like, are you okay?
Yeah, last week you wouldn't let me take out, this is the whole COVID thing that made me come in,
Oh, no, I mean, if throwing a major fit for hypothetical.
If I dramatically quit Blockbuster yesterday, I would have a whole other set of questions.
That's a Twitter account right there. That is a parody Twitter account right there. The employee that just quit Blockbuster.
I feel like that would be another question. What Schmoedown competitors is most likely to be a secret employee at Blockbuster?
There's one left. There's still one in Oregon.
Seriously?
There's one. There's one.
Oh my god. Oh, we also had another. We also had another one from Movie Finobi again. Thank you so much, my dude. We appreciate it.
Yeah. What is burn notice is hilarious. That's a reference to that SNL skit, which is so funny. What is burn notice?
I haven't seen burn notice in years. Aggressively. Another donation from Movie by Novi says, the dungeon invading the army. Lots of emojis. Thank you, Alex. Thank you, Adam. I hope everyone is having a blast tonight. Be kind to each other and shower your hashtag ghost judge. Ooh, look at that. Shower your ghost judge with love. Steve. Thank you, Steve. We appreciate it. All right. Speaking of which, I'm going to be going over to the chat. And Adam, have you made did you put in the chat who you thought won?
Oh, here. Oh, sorry. I forgot we were doing that. Here we go.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Okay. So determined by 2 out of the 3 judges today and voted of Parker. So, well done.
And everything that Ghost Judge and I just discussed is the greatest branding for the dungeon. All the things we said sound like insults, but they're not. I think that's a dungeon. They're all compliments, frankly. I'll say them later.
I'm just trying to keep up my streak of never winning a single question on this show. So,
dude, I lost last time too.
I lost all 3 questions last time, so I'm just gonna keep it rolling.
No, that's actually really frustrating me because I remember watching you I remember like hosting the thing that night, and I was like, legitimately, you should have won.
I agree.
Looking back at the arguments, I was like seriously, you should have won based off the arguments exclusively. That's why we're changing a lot of things right now, to really get a better judgment of it. But also want to dive into the polls real quickly. It was actually in favor of 71% Nost and 29% McQueenie. Interesting.
Wow.
All right, we're going to be going on to question number 2. Thank you so much, Jake, for sending me that poll. And we are going to be starting for this one. We're starting with Parker with the opening statement at 1 minute. And Adam, will you please do the honor of reading our
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, what is the best match that Kaiser has managed?
I also clarified to both our competitors earlier that when I said best match, obviously he's not always physically on screen. We don't see the entire picture. So I want to know about the promos. I want to know about personal experiences. What did they see? Anything behind the scenes? How do they manage them one-on-one? But also challenges, all that good stuff. What did they do to really make that match amazing? All right, Parker, you have 1 minute on the clock to let us know your pick starting now.
So this is a really tough question. Because I do this is not, I'm obviously very biased, but I do generally think Kaiser is an incredible manager, not just in game, but also outside of the game, which I think is arguably the more important part of managing. So I'm going to go with Kaiser managing Smets when he played Kalinowski the second time at Spectacular this last December, when Smets won the belt. Not only did Smets play a perfect game, and a lot of that is on him and his studying, but Kaiser helped him study quite a bit, and not just the studying, also just the mindset, hyping this guy up, being there for him, being his best friend, the personal stories that I've heard and that people have told on backstage and stuff like that, of being in the dressing room, just blasting music, getting ready, getting this guy in the right mindset, and then going out and murdering the promo, getting in Kalinowski's head that entire day, making Kalinowski play the worst match of his life. I just think the total package, especially the stuff outside of the ring, make this Kaiser's best managed match.
Great pick for sure. Amazing live match overall. Amazing live events in general. Okay, and over to Zipper. You also have 1 minute on the clock to let us know your pick for best match that Kaiser's ever managed. Starting now. Oh, now.
Sorry, I was leaving a little bit of space in case Adam Witt wanted to. No, I was leaving space in case Adam Witt wanted to chime in with something.
I would never. I have incredible respect for time, other people's time, including my teachers in school. I had so much respect for that. I was never the class clown.
I did ask for this. Okay, so the thing that my choice has in common with Parker's choice is that it is a live match. I'm picking Smets' match against Adam Hlavik in San Diego at Comic-Con because I think Parker would agree with me that Kaiser thrives in a live setting. When he has an audience that he can bounce off of, he just feeds on that energy, and it just makes his managing superpowers grow even stronger. So I think he did that in the San Diego match, but I think the big thing about the San Diego match is it was coming off of Smets' one loss. Smets was a player who desperately needed that win, and it had this big narrative behind him. And Kaiser really helped push him through the most difficult moment of his Schmoedown career up to that point to seize an incredible, decisive victory.
Great. Both fantastic live matches, both hugely important to Kaiser and Smets. I think of them as like one person. I don't think of them as an individuals anymore, really. Okay.
They're Smizer.
Miser, absolutely. Well, Adam, I mean,
It's a face hugger.
There's a lot to kind of dive into these matches, Are you excited to hear more about details about this one?
Yeah, I need to hear a little more detail because I'm much more familiar with Smets Kalinowski than I am with the one that Zip is talking about. Is that the one that ends with him saying, "Bring me Kalinowski"?
No, that's when he played Navarro. This one
Navarro.
is
Okay,
right after Collision, like a month after Collision.
Okay, gotcha. I just need a little more detail on that because I'm a little hazier on that one. And
Right.
You said the live setting was Smets Kalinowski not live? That was live, right?
No, they both
Both
were.
live.
Oh,
They're both
okay,
live.
both live. Gotcha.
We picked their two live.
You were saying you took more
So-
advantage of the live setting in that one, that he was really on for that one.
So Smets versus KO
On stage versus off stage.
was at the most recent one in LA, at Spectacular. But Smets versus Lavick was at Comic-Con
Gotcha. Okay.
last summer.
Okay.
It was actually on the same day as my wedding. So
Oh,
I literally,
Fun.
I
You got married at Comic-Con, yeah.
I wish I did. I literally disappeared for like an hour for my wedding to go watch this match.
that
I literally just
That is
like,
on
I
brand
watched-
for
I
is
watched it on
so
my
on
phone.
brand.
I must have looked really creepy, like walking around my wedding dress, looking at my phone, watching it. But priorities, guys.
On
Priorities.
brand.
That's what you got to do. All right, so we're gonna be diving into this. You guys got 4 minutes on the clock to get debating some of these amazing matches and really just talk about how awesome Kaiser is, though, as a manager. Please bring your personal experiences to it, and also, beyond. Let's say, you guys got 4 minutes starting now.
Kaiser Beyond.
I think we just heard everything we need to hear, which is that this match made Alex skip part of her own wedding to watch it. That's incredible, first of all.
Points.
But
Points.
also, there's the Comic-Con factor. There's just such a fun, weird dynamic to Kaiser at Comic-Con. I would love to just walk the floor at Comic-Con with Kaiser just to observe what that looks like. And just seeing him in that setting, this hyper nerdy setting, and him in just full F it Kaiser mode was just
What the
adorable.
hell's all this?
Yeah. So her watching the match because of the wedding doesn't have a lot to do with Kaiser's specific managing in the match.
Sure it
I do agree that does speak volumes for the match itself, but not the managing of it. And then same with the Comic-Con thing. I would love to also walk around a convention floor with Kaiser, but that's not to do with his managing in the match. I think that the biggest part of his managing at Spectacular was yes, he came off of that loss at Collision for the Havoc match, but also the Havoc match isn't all that memorable because it was a straight knockout, and that's more of a testament to Smets than it is to Smets than it is to Kaiser, because Smets was so motivated after that loss. He had such a fire under his ass. He was like, I'm going to turn around and show that this is not a fluke. I am the greatest Intergame player of all time. And I think he was very personally motivated, and Kaiser was just like, you got it, bro. Versus at Spectacular, there was a lot.
I feel that way about.
Go ahead.
Oh, sorry.
No,
Go
you're
ahead.
good.
I was going to say, I feel that way about your match. I had never seen Kevin so relaxed and prepared and ready than he was going into that match against Kalinowski. Even though it was going up against Kalinowski and it was personal and I had all of this weight behind it, he seemed so just in the zone. Whereas he had more to push back against and more to fight against in that Hlavik match, even though the match itself might not be as memorable because Kevin destroyed him. Part of the reason that he was able to destroy him is that he had a manager there in his corner pushing him through the most difficult thing he'd been through as a competitor at that point. He was there to help him rebound in that moment. And there wasn't the stakes, even though they were technically higher in that Kalinowski match, felt higher to me coming off of the Don't Tell Peter moment. And those are the moments when you need a manager who is 100% in your corner, 100% has your back. It's not the moments when things are going great. It's the moments when you're not sure if things are going great anymore and you need someone to hold you up and put you on that pedestal.
I think that Smets was so relaxed at that spectacular match because of Kaiser's tutelage, because of that. He had spent the entire day at the Schmoedown Expo, like signing autographs and being at the dungeon table and all that kind of stuff, and doing the little stage show with Kaiser. And he had Kaiser had his back that entire time. I think that's why he was so relaxed. The stakes were higher. Smets was going against the only person who had ever beaten him. Smets was extreme. There was so much pressure on that moment, more than Adam, because he knew he was going to beat Adam going into that match. After Collision, when he found out the Adam match was going to happen, he said, I can do this. I'm not going to coast, but I can absolutely do this. He had that seed of doubt because Kalinowski had beaten him before. Kaiser's the one who got it out of his head, and I think that is a testament to a great manager.
Sure. I think that, like you said, a lot of the great managing happens in the moments that we don't see, and I think that is for both of these matches. Yeah, but I also feel like that is just so especially true of the Hlavik match because Kaiser really needed to be like a rock in that match. He needed to be something for him to like pivot around to turn the momentum back.
Time. Oh, Rocket Man. That's what Kaiser is for dang sure.
I said a rock in that match, but Rocket Man is better. So let's go with Rocket Man.
It's all about boosting you up. That's it. All right. Okay. So a lot of really, really great points were made all around, helping the Smets in both of these situations psychologically, the promos as well. The both live events and everything, the motivation, psychologically for the competitor going into it. I would love to see, actually, our ghost judge, they requested something to be addressed as well, is how Kaiser really messes with their opponents' heads. Now, Kaiser is one of those managers. He feels just as much, obviously, as intensity as the competitors do. And so he is also going against the competitors and the other managers. So I really want you to kind of dive into, how they kind of mess with their opponents psychologically, if you can. So thank you to our ghost judge for, asking for that point. Adam, is there anything you need to address in the closing statements today?
I like that the backstory was given on these two things. Like that they going against Kalinowski, it was the only person that ever beat him, and that Adam Hlavik, that was coming off the Don't Tell Peter match. Yeah, right. I really like that you brought that stuff up. So yeah, anything about the opponents and certainly how that how the opponent changed how Kaiser would approach that or mess with their heads. That's a perfect question to ask, actually.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Because it is all about the opponents in some ways too. Because we love Kaiser, we love Smets, but who they're playing and the mentality of that, what Kaiser might have done to get in their heads, or and again using those environments. It's very interesting. These are both in very different environments. Comic-Con with that big crowd, playing that crowd. That's a big crowd versus Smets Kalinowski, which was San Diego. Did you say?
It was.
It was the Hlavik match. Mine was at Spectacular in LA.
Right. Mm-hmm. So anyway, but how they played off the opponents is fascinating.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Just moving over to the chat real quickly. Kaiser read him questions and answers while he slept. There you go. Cam's real quick to say, Kaiser's an incredible human being. I love the guy. Kaiser would really do in a Thunderdome match. I could see him win against Master Blaster. 2 men enter, Kaiser leaves. 2 men enter, Kaiser leaves. I don't know what that means, but okay, I'll take it.
Spin the wheel.
That one. Rawr. Okay, we're going to be going into our closing statements. Please address, our requests, and we really. All that good stuff. And we are going to be diving into our closing statements. Again, we're going to be starting with Parker for your closing statement first. Are you ready?
Yep, let's do it.
Starting now.
So as far as the opponents, I don't think against Adam, Kaiser needed to flip on that sort of get in your opponent's head, like managerial switch, because Adam had just spent 10 hours covering Comic-Con for his actual job. He came in late to the match. He was already in his own head. He wasn't focused as Smets was. Kaiser didn't need to dig into that managerial toolbox, if you will. He had to against Kalinowski. You can see it in the cut of the match when Kaiser and Smets are making their entrance. Kalinowski Kalinowski tries to get in Smets' face a little bit, and Kaiser just tells Smets to go sit down. Kaiser steps in the way, just stands right in front of him. He's the one having the eye-on-eye showdown. He is letting Smets take care of what Smets needs to take care of, sitting down, answering the questions correctly. He's taking the burden of the character work. He's taking the burden of getting the opponent's heads. He is the one staring down Kalinowski face to face, and I think that is a mark of a good manager as well, taking up and letting your player do what they have to do in the moment.
And time. Right on the money. Okay, so you're not kidding. There's a lot of psychological warfare for in general when it comes to Schmoedown, but especially when it comes to Kaiser. All right, over to you, Eric. You also have 1 minute on the clock to really sell us on the Smets versus Lavik match. You have 1 minute starting now.
I think there is a little bit less of that offensive psychological warfare of getting into the opponent's head, but I think you can't underestimate the importance of doing the inverse of that, which is getting into your player's head to hype them up and build them up and make them feel like a champion, right? Like you mentioned, the match against Kalinowski, that's an event. Like, it was spectacular. It's their rematch. That's an event of a match with or without Kaiser's involvement. Those two players going at each other is an event. But what Kaiser is able to do is he's able to make an undercard match feel like an event. He took the match against Adam, which was an undercard for that day, and made it feel like this big, massive, momentous comeback, right? He got the momentum swinging back in Kevin's direction, and he made that match feel dynamic, and then it carried on into the main event, right? He built it up as an event when it didn't necessarily need to be one. He did it. It was on him.
And time.
Wow.
That's good. That's very good. A very good argument.
Also,
it's like, what does the manager do, you know?
Give me some pity votes. I want those pity votes.
All right, guys.
But you're bringing it down to the basic idea of what does a manager even do, you know?
What is
a
manager?
What would Freddie Blassie do?
Exactly. You guys, please let us know your opinions. You guys have just a few minutes, actually 4 in particular, to get there and voting. Let us know your opinions, and we're going to announce it here shortly. Okay, and we are going to be starting that whole thing right now. All right. Now,
I'm going into the cone of silence here.
Adam and our ghost judge are messaging back and forth pretty consistently about these debates. So it's getting pretty intense, I'm not gonna lie.
That's a tough question. It's a good question. It's a good question, but it's tough.
When writing,
because so much of, I mean, we talked about it in the argument, but like so much of what Kaiser does is behind the scenes, and we both brought that up a lot.
Yeah. And I would have loved to pick one of my matches, but I really think he thrives in that live setting.
I agree.
Well, just diving into that in particular, I mean, this is not part of the debate or anything. Like, what's your favorite one-on-one moment with Kaiser that really kind of helped you? You know, really be feel amazing, and be like, you know what? Yes, yeah. You know, what was that?
I know mine. Yeah, go ahead, Zip.
I was going to say that he always, if I'm having a rough day or things are not great, he's always the first guy to call or text me and just be like, hey man, what's up? You need to shoot the shit? You need to get a burger? What's going on? Just always.
He's so chill.
Yeah.
And I'm not talking about drugs, you know, he's just genuinely a chill dude.
Yes.
It could be two things.
We literally, we were talking about just those people you want to hang out with that you're going to sit there and break balls and just to have a good time. He is the epitome of that. Mine is draft night. After drafting, after those pictures were taken, I was just hanging out with him and Smets and Zit, and Witt, we were just hanging out as a group, and that was definitely my moment where I'm yeah, this feels right.
You talking about after the draft?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that was a really fun night.
Yeah.
Because that was the first time I met you.
That was the first time I met
Zipper,
anybody.
but we hadn't really talked or anything. We'd run into each other. But
yeah.
That was really cool because it's so easy. I mean, the way that the team came together that day, it's of course, all these people. We would, if we were not on the same team, if there were no draft, we just dropped all those people into the bar. We probably would have ended up hanging out together anyway, which is funny. And Kaiser as well, right?
Mm-hmm. Not kidding. Well, it just kind of speaks to, the many roles a manager has to play when it comes to Schmoedown. There's a lot going on behind the scenes that, a lot of people within, first-time viewers and everything, it's not just whipping out those good promos. There's a lot, you got to do for sure. Real quickly, just kind of going over to the chat, what does a manager even do? Hashtag Adam Witt 2020. Okay. But also, draft night was the best.
True. It's true.
Yeah, Ghost Judge finds you guilty on all charges. The sentence after life in prison. And also a lot of love for Jillian Wynn's best thumbnail. That's true. That's very true. And I cannot wait for this third question. I cannot wait for that third.
Oh, this third question is gonna be
fun. Okay,
ridiculous.
If you haven't been on Twitter, it's arguably the most important question of all time. It is. Okay. We're going a little bit back and forth in this chat. Okay. All right. This is getting a little. Okay. We're going to wait for that one here in a little bit. We're going to let that one marinate because there's a little bit of back and forth right now as far as who won that one. We're still waiting. And we are going to be. Oh man, that's a lot of disputes going on. I'm here for it. Okay, we're gonna go into our third and final question, guys. And by far, it's one of my most favorite questions I came up with ever, period, of all time, maybe. Oh, sorry, my timer went out. So guys, that's all the time you have left to vote. And just saying, when it comes to doing through the link, just want to give you a heads up. We are going to move into our third and final question while we also settle everything for this for question number 2. All right. Adam, are you ready to read our third and final
Yes.
question?
And then, by the way, I have to compliment the format here because talking to the Ghost Judge, it becomes a very spirited debate about this sort of thing. You go in with a head of steam of like, I know exactly where this argument's supposed to go. And then we just had a debate there that turned me around, frankly. Actually, there was something that Parker had said about that onstage moment, that stare down moment, that was big. But I got to say, and I had this in my notes too, and we were talking about it with the Ghost Judge. However, the idea that you can make an undercard match be significant, like if it's already anticipated, if it's already a belt match, if it's already built up, it's already a rematch, then there technically, even if Kaiser's on that day, there's less for him to do. Like the idea of making every moment, Freddie Blassie style, you'd watch a Saturday morning wrestling, and they never had the big matches where Hulk Hogan was going for the belt or whatever. Yeah. But those managers did not know that. Like I knew that nobody was going to win the WWF belt on that Saturday because it's just a Saturday afternoon match. But, Freddie Blassie, those guys, they don't know that. They come out completely to play. So actually, I was going to go for Parker and this discussion here. I think ultimately Zip makes the better point about managers in general, but definitely with Kaiser, I think that's a very good point that it's got to bring something to every match. If the match has everything going for it, then even if Kaiser's intense, even if he's playing the music, all that sort of stuff, that's great. But there's technically less for him to do. So I don't know. I actually going to go with Zip on this one. I like the points made. Yeah.
Thanks, man.
Yeah.
Parker, I like that that Parker's giving us a new angle.
It's a new angle of my room, because I have to have my phone plugged in. Yeah.
We are
side of the times.
There you go.
I have to plug my phone in, so now I'm at the airport.
It's true. My laptop just decided. My laptop decided to completely die. I can maybe. Oh no, it's not going to reach. We're just. Yep, it's a new angle. We're good. It's fine. Everything's fine.
It's all good. It's all good. We are going to be going into our third and final one, and we're going to be waiting until to announce who actually won the second question until we actually wrap up the third question as well. Okay, so Adam, will you please do the honor in reading our third and final question?
Alex, I'd love to. Ladies and gentlemen, if Kaiser were to go on a trip, who would he trust to manage the dungeon and, more importantly, take care of Piggy Smalls?
Now, that is the most important honor you can ever have in the world. Okay. Actually, I will keep that question up because I just get excited reading Piggy Smalls. And we're going to determine who is going to be going first by this little coin here.
Yeah.
Whoop. I almost missed it. It is the boom. Therefore, that means Eric. I know you chose that one earlier. So, would you like to go first, or would you like to defer?
I will defer. I will let Parker go.
You want to defer? Okay, Parker, please. You have 1 minute on the clock to let us know your opinions, and tell us who should best take care of Biggie Smalls. All right, you have 1 minute on the clock, starting now.
The answer is clear. It's Eric Zipper. Eric Zipper is the clear answer, and I would say this even if he wasn't here. He's the most responsible member of the dungeon, and I think that's a fact. He has the most gameplay experience, so if we're talking managerially, who can cut a good promo, it's Eric Zipper. Who can manage and challenge, Eric Zipper. Who can help you pick your strength and what to put on the wheel, what to spin away from, Eric Zipper. Who can take care of Piggy Smalls, who loves animals, Eric Zipper. I dare you to tell me that you hate animals. He loves animals, very, very responsible person. He's local in California, which helps tremendously with being either like available to study off of, to bounce questions off of, all that kind of stuff. Eric Zipper, the most trustworthy member of the dungeon, bar none. I got nothing else.
I love here.
All right.
Love here.
All right, yielding the last 7 seconds. I dig it. Okay, we are going to be going over to Zipper, who's going to be arguing against himself, though, so that's going to be pretty interesting. You have 1 minute on the clock to let us know who would best potentially take care to manage the dungeon, as well as take care of Piggy Smalls. So you have 1 minute starting now.
Look, I may seem responsible sometimes, but I promise it's a front because it is very clear to me who the most responsible person in the dungeon is, who the person is that is most detail-oriented, that stays on top of things, that puts in hard work, and that is Robert Parker. I think that Kaiser knows that I'm a little too much like him when it really comes down to it. I'm a little too much just like somebody who only cares about like short-term gratification to be responsible to take care of the whole dungeon over the course of a trip, you know? And I do love animals, but you know what else I love? Bacon and pork products of all kinds. I may be incredibly Jewy, but I love bacon. And I have told Kaiser about how badly I want to open up a food truck called The Bad Jew that is all like Jewish food, but super non-kosher versions with like pork added in.
I'm so sorry I didn't give you a warning. I just got so distracted.
Okay. Was that time?
I would like to say Ghost Judge and I have decided. I'm kidding. They haven't said anything.
That's good. I've never heard that from you, Zip. That's great.
For the baseball bat, right? The Bad Jew.
Oh, that's so great. That's so good.
Because I love all the Jewish food I grew up eating, but what's it missing? Pork.
Okay, we are going to be going into our open debate. A favor of both. For and against Eric and for and against Parker. So this is going to be fun, not getting confused. You guys got 4 minutes to start arguing. Start now.
Parker, I have a question. What's your grade point average?
I'm not comfortable revealing that on a public stream.
I'm betting it was higher than mine.
I have no reason to believe that playing the game of school well has anything to do with managing in the Schmoedown. I don't think those two things are correlated.
Look, you are a student of this game, though. You're so, like, you don't miss anything.
You have been around the game more, though. We say it all the time, like, fans who watch, who catch every detail, catch every challenge, every word of every question, they have a very good perspective, but that's not the same as being in that room. And you've done that longer. And that is experience, watching how challenges actually unfold, not just seeing the edit wipe and then being on the Facebook page, oh, this is what they should have done. You've seen those arguments, you've seen those debates in person, and I feel like you have a much better experience, much more experience, and much more valid experience than mine, managing a player in the dungeon in those moments.
But there's a very important reason why I couldn't do it. I don't want to.
I don't want to either. I can't. You're in California. I can't take Picky Smalls on walks. I'm not. What am I gonna hop on a plane and just be like, sorry, I got a pig to take care of real quick? Like,
Oh, that was good. See, everyone, that was great. That was a real good Kaiser. He'd be a great substitute Kaiser. Thank you, Parker.
I do want to pause for a hot second and say, I love hearing about, who loves bacon and who hates bacon and all that good stuff. I do want to hear a little bit more specifics on management skills behind the scenes, motivation, helping the competitors get into it psychologically, all that good stuff. So just keep on going. I just wanted to hear a little bit extra juice about that.
I don't have anybody's phone number. Nobody's. You have them all. You can just.
I do not. I do not. Most of them are not in my phone. You show up as a series of numbers, and I'm just like, I'm pretty sure that's Robert Parker.
Me too. So I. That's a good point. I think that you are more apt for as far as study sessions go when it comes to singles and teams. I cannot write as good of prep questions, and I think you're more apt to that, and especially in certain categories. You have strengths, just you as a player have strengths in certain directors and certain genres that certain players might want to improve on that I will not be able to help them train for certain matches in certain scenarios.
That's fair, but when we were preparing for the Inner Geekdom tournament, I felt so immensely helped by you, just because you notice and catch all these things that I don't, and it's just like, I don't know, man. I don't know. I would feel good having you in my corner as that guy.
I'd feel good having you in my corner too, but this is not about us. It is about Kaiser. And if Kaiser is gone, let's be real. If Kaiser's gone, I'm not one of the first 5 people he texts. He's gonna say you are far more likely to get that text that says take the pig out than I am.
Are you telling me that you would not, if you had a text being like, hey Parker, I need you to fly out here to take care of my pig for a week, are you telling me you wouldn't do it? Because I think you would. He lives right by the beach, Parker.
That's true. It's true. I don't know where Kaiser lives or where the pig resides. Oh, here's the other thing. I've met Piggy Smalls once. I was inebriated. I made a very bad impression. He doesn't want to see me again. I bet you he would love. I bet you that he would
Backstory
love.
is cold.
He would. Yeah, I met him once. It was 2 a.m. on a Sunday morning. He was not happy when I walked in the door.
Here's the thing. He didn't like me either because he could see the hunger in my eyes. So, I don't know. I think
You can't mention you love bacon until you can take care of the pig. This is a problem.
Gosh, 10 seconds.
You know,
he's a very
cool
cool pig. He's very cute, but
he's a very good pig. You know the localities where you could take him for a nice pig walk. You are more aware of the area, and I am not.
Time.
What is
What
this
is
fight?
happening? Thank you.
Best
Robert
third
Adams, for-
question ever. Best third question ever.
I also
Best
want to
answers
point out-
ever. Nobody loses tonight. Here's the key. That last round, nobody is losing tonight. We're going to declare a winner. We're going to discuss it and everything like that. But the audience won and everybody won right there. That was good.
This is intensely true. And real quickly, just want to point out, what Robert Adams just says. I'll be honest, I didn't expect a bro fest over a pig tonight. But at the end of the
It's
day,
true.
welcome to Schmoebates.
Welcome to Schmoebates. Right, indeed.
Okay. There's just so much
You can see the hunger in my eyes. My God.
That was a good line.
Yes, we are all just a series of numbers. There's just a
True.
lot.
We're living in a simulation, and this is proof that we've mastered it.
Danielle, love you, girl. This is clearly a nah, bro. You got this kind of argument. A bromance is forming in front of our eyes. Just to clarify, are you saying it wasn't established prior to this? How dare you?
It's codified. It is now
I'd say it was.
codified.
Yes.
It's now canon. It's now canon.
That's true. It's on
I'm
a
sure-
stream now.
I'm sure one of you guys is going to get a call from Kaiser any minute now being like, hey, take care of this, here pretty soon. Movie Finobi again coming in hot with the donations. Thank you, my dude. Both are wrong. Video Drew is the only answer. It's not about responsibility. It's about strategy, scheming, debating skill set for challenges. She's had pets and many roommates for Piggy. Oh, man, you just knocked yourselves out. Absolutely. I think we have the real winner right here. Ben also says, thank you so much for your donation. This was the most surreal question and answer ever. Wow. Tough. Hashtag bad Jew. Hashtag pig walk. You know what? I'll donate to that, getting that food card going. Let's
Someday.
do it.
Someday. That's
We
good.
can do
Yeah.
a Kickstarter. We can make that happen. All right. We don't say Video Drew, you'll be amazing. Okay. But also Robert Evans mentions again, we all just got a little existential on Schmoebates.
Right. I think we broke through.
I think we just broke Schmoebates overall. Okay, we are going to be going into our closing statements. I'm not entirely sure what I want from my competitors right now. But Adam, is there anything that you would love to be addressed in the closing statements from either one?
Yeah, well, we have covered both of your opinions on pig and pork and bacon. However, and the bad Jew is definitely we need to talk more about that as a food truck. But I would like to hear the difference in a training regimen between you two. You could walk us through what your training regimen would be, and in the argument that way, by way of an argument, I guess.
Absolutely, for sure.
Who would be better by way of an argument?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. You got to be effective in those. You have to be effective in those challenges. Like I said, motivations behind the scene. Who is also just down to take up a lot of that additional responsibility.
Or not. Let
Or
me
not.
know why you wouldn't do it good. I think is more within the theme.
Or alternatively,
You walk me through a day of managing and how you training and how you wouldn't screw it up.
or why you, talk about why you think you would be a bad manager, I guess. Why are you a bad person to run the dungeon, guys? This feels so wrong in so many ways. We are
Take religion out of it. Why are you a bad person?
Okay. Great.
Okay.
Oh, let's go.
Yeah.
I'm ready.
Okay,
No, I'm ready.
Closing statement.
How much time we got? I got like 5 hours on that.
Okay, we got 1 minute on the clock for our closing statement for our final question, starting now.
Who's first?
You, sorry, Parker, you're.
Oh gosh. Okay, sorry.
No, I'll give you the full time.
Don't worry, we can reset the clock by me doing a bit. So I just want to say that when you answer from the heart. Think about yourself. Think about Zipper. Think about Kaiser.
And stomach.
And be the ball. Go.
Okay, so I would not be a good manager in one of the biggest parts of being a manager is being good on the mic and being intimidating on the mic in person and virtually to your opponents. I'm not intimidating. I'm 5'3" and 125 pounds. You can punt me. Anybody can punt me. You do not want an intimidating manager to be somebody who can easily be punted. Eric Zipper is not an easily puntable person. Eric Zipper is an extremely kind person, but I've seen him when he gets when he wants to be a little bit vicious, he can just turn a little switch. He gets just a little something a little bit clicks and he's ready to go. He can be that sort of malicious. He can be that sort of scheming figure that a manager sometimes has to take upon the role of. I would not be able to pull off that aura of intimidation and that aura of that area of managerial style. Zip would. I too enjoy bacon. I hadn't said that yet. And as for like training regimen, I can do the best I can, but it's also tough with the time change.
And
a lot of our other
time. Wrapping up with a nice little bow, talking about why your size and stature would make you a bad intimidator when it comes to being manager. So okay, all right. That hurts my heart, you saying that, but okay. All right, going over to Zipper. Why do you think you would be a bad manager and a bad person to
intimidate us?
Small.
Do it. Go for it.
I have 1 minute on the clock starting now.
I have two major reasons. The first one is that I am a deeply lazy human being. And even when you said, Adam, walk me through a day of you as a manager, I was like, oh my God, I don't want to do that. I was like, that sounds stressful and like it would make me anxious. So there's that. And then my second and most important reason that I'm not responsible enough to manage the dungeon.
And your winner!
I yield my time.
I yield the remainder of my bong. And your winner.
Dude, I assume you yield the rest of your time. You're 15 seconds. Oh God.
Shit.
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay.
I gotta say, other people can have their victories, their wins, their swag, whatever they do, they bring their attitude. But please, did the dungeon end up with the dungeon correctly or what?
Okay, guys. You guys are the ones determining. You guys are the ones determining who's gonna be walking away a win today.
Who's gonna vote for Zipper and who's gonna be a goddamn communist?
It's so hard now. Okay, guys. We can talk about all day and night, about who's going to be, the best babysitter and all that good stuff. But let's be honest, the real man that should be the deciding factor is this man right here, Mr. Kaiser himself.
Oh boy,
ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the arena.
Listen,
the trash mouth of the South.
Listen. Eric Zipper has a license to smoke marijuana, so I don't want anybody coming at us with no legal action bullshit. We got Brandon Leopoldis, the best lawyer in the country. If anybody wants to ask any questions, you talk to him. Number two, which one of you dicky doos said you're cooking the pig?
That was me. It was a bit. I was doing a bit, Kaiser.
I hope you lose this. I hope you. At first, I was pulling for you. Now I hope you lose.
Oh my!
I don't think you made a direct threat on the pig. I was the one that connected the dots that he likes bacon, a separate point, and he's got to take care of the pig, separate point. So.
Really, I just wanted to segue into pitching my pork-themed food truck. That's all it was.
Did
you heard the name of the food
truck? Did anybody get an answer from Roca to see if he can step in and manage and take care of the pig? I heard him.
Roca in the chat.
I saw it
in the chat, yeah.
not too long ago. John in the chat, if you're still here, I know he mentioned a few things. He made some comments, about he actually, real quick, he said, why is Adam Witt wearing Santa Claus's face?
See?
Hey, look, we're all going to make money in ways that we didn't have to previously, and I might have to maul Santa at the end of this COVID bullshit, okay?
Take his place. You got to do what you got to do, my dude.
All right, good luck. I got to go.
But also, he said...
Bye, Kaiser.
Bye, Kaiser.
Where was he?
Sorry, my phone got unplugged.
But also, Roca's also disappointed neither one of you guys chose him, so, yeah. Okay, clearly.
Roca also just said he loves bacon, so if I'm an asshole, then...
I truly... We joke about cooking the pig. Roca would do it.
Yeah.
Totally.
100%.
Does Roca think that answering Roca is more entertaining than what just happened here? Come on. You program for a living. You got to know this was the more entertaining outcome.
All right, guys. Everyone in the chat, Jake, please send out that link. I don't know if you did or not. Maybe I missed it. I'm not entirely sure. But yeah, send out that link to do it. Oh, there it is. You can vote right now and let us know who should win. It should be Parker in favor of Zipper, or alternatively the exact opposite, Eric in favor of Parker.
Yeah, would you put this on the poll? That's an interesting.
Yeah.
That's funny. I didn't even think
Send
about
your
that.
roasted pig recipes.
Okay. Well, we still have 4 minutes on the clock. We are going to be waiting for our...
What am I talking to Ghost Dad here?
Yeah, we're going to talk about Ghost Judge. Ghost Dad.
Ghost Dad.
Daddy.
Ghost Dad.
Daddy. Okay. No, not Ghost Dad. Ghost Daddy. Okay. I have All right. Ghost
Could
Daddy.
any movie have gotten more creepy as time goes on than Ghost Dad? I mean, that guy, you don't know he's in the room with you. Anyway.
That's the...
I'm sure I'm trotting on old territory here.
We love a good bit.
Ugh,
Tap, 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 tap.
We should choose Witt. He's got the phone numbers. Witt's got everybody's phone number.
I do have everybody's phone.
Everyone.
Numbers.
That's
Everyone
true.
said,
And I bet we're in there as our actual names, aren't we, Witt?
Yeah, not as each other's numbers.
No, you're all just Ghost. Now I'm changing all your names to Ghost Zip, Ghost
All right, that's fair.
Ghost Parker.
Yeah.
Now we are just waiting
man.
on those answers as we speak. And everyone, get voting. Let us know. We have 3 votes per question. So, it's not too hard. It's just a, hyperlink and a click and we're good to go for sure. Real quickly from Rock M Movies with Tyler. Thanks for making me happy Dungeon Master tonight. Yes. Thank you so much for your donation, by the way. We appreciate it.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
That was
Proud to be an American delinquent. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That
There's
was the
just like
most
a lot of
wild
love
thing I've
going
ever
on
done.
right now. Mm-hmm.
Oh, man.
I
That
want
was
to
the
know, you guys,
strangest argument I've ever had to make in my life.
are you
Right?
having, like an out-of-body experience a little
Trying to
bit?
convince someone else that they're more responsible than you are.
And you, yeah.
Just saying, we have just under 2.5 minutes. You guys have to go vote right now. Just saying. Mm-hmm.
Right?
Okay, well, if you guys had to choose someone outside your faction, who would it be? Aside from, Roka. Or maybe if you vote that aggressively.
Rachel Cushing.
Cushing. Oh.
Oh, that's not a.
If
That's
it's somebody
a pretty good
not in the
pick.
dungeon, it's probably Cushing.
What about you, Zipper?
That's good. I don't know. Yeah, somebody outside the dungeon. Maybe Ethan Irwin. I want to know how to be that relaxed about this.
He's just a-
Like, how do I achieve that level of chillness?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know what he
A
does.
lot more of that you had over there.
Maybe.
You know it.
Please don't make me get any higher. That one hit really did the trick.
God, that was just,
Hey,
as
okay.
a physical exclamation point, we without shouting, we can't add exclamation points in our bits or our life. That was one though. Big old exclamation point. Boom. If you need me to prove that I am a deeply lazy person,
I am a horrible person.
I gotta say, we have defined a sideways definition of the dungeon, which all probably comes off as insults. This all sounds like insults. I think the dungeon is a bunch of people that could take these insults and go, yeah, that's our brand. That's I think
Yeah.
we've defined the brand in a way that no PR professional could.
We have internalized it way more than anybody else.
Yeah.
And furthermore, bong drop.
That's
Somebody says
spectacular.
bong
We
drop.
dumped a bag full of burgers on a table and called it a day.
Real quickly, someone put on Roka gave a pig a nice spot. Oh, but a lot of people in the chat are quick to be like hashtag free Jessica, 100% Jen.
Oh, Jen would be good.
Oh,
Yeah.
also a really good pick.
That's true.
That's a really good pick, yeah.
That is
Yeah,
true.
she likes animals. She's an animal lover.
Oh, sure. If you're
Yeah.
going to take this question seriously, Chris, then that might be the answer. We have
Why would
determined
you do that?
pretty much from 7th grade on, everybody
All right.
here has determined to not take anything seriously because we're all in a simulation.
Guys, you heard that timer. You have no more time in order to vote. If you haven't voted, that sucks. All right, we're going to find out who the winner is in just a hot second. I'm going to be waiting for our ghost judge as well as Adam to send me their votes through our
Oh yeah,
little
are we gonna get a reveal? Is the ghost judge gonna take a
we are
physical
going to do
form?
a ghost judge reveal here in a hot
Great.
second. Yes. All right. Okay. Oh. Okay. Oh, you're right. You're right. You're totally right. You are totally right.
Share with the whole class.
Question number 1, which we already mentioned.
Mm-hmm.
What former / retired Schmoedown competitor would you put in the dungeon? Our winner was Robert Parker. For question number 2, what is the best match that Kaiser has managed? Winning 2 out of the 3 votes in favor of Eric Zipper.
Ooh.
Oh, my streak has been broken.
And for our 3rd and final question being, if Kaiser were to go on a trip, who would he trust to manage the dungeon and more importantly, take care of Piggy Smalls, winning 2 out of the 3 votes in favor of
Decision.
Eric Zipper.
Oh!
the ever lovely Mr. Z-Man himself, Eric Zipper.
I can't put my phone down, but I'm clapping.
Thanks,
Oh,
man.
Man, the bong exclamation point it should go down in the history of Schmoebates as
I couldn't compete with that.
point made, bong drop. Yeah.
And bong drop
Sorry, man.
indeed. We're gonna bring up our ghost judge as well here in a hot second. Oh my gosh, one of my favorite people of all time. It is Video Drew.
She'll haunt your dreams, folks.
Yeah.
Hi guys.
Terrifying.
Hi guys.
Hello, Video Drew. It's me, David Lynch.
Yay! We're doing it for like. Hey guys. Hey, I'll get one to bring. This is my new friend.
Hey, so who actually voted? You or you?
Well, we both had a vote, so it actually counted for both. This is a mini Drew. She's got a lot of different faces, made by Obi Kenobi and his lovely lady friend
awesome.
Heather.
She got multiple faces?
Yeah. This is her face, and then she.
Oh my God.
The magnetic changing face Video Drew action playset?
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Well, I was gonna go to bed after this.
Guys, I can't believe no one thinks of, like somebody who could take care of animals. I mean, look at all the things I have. You guys all did really great tonight. Yeah, I agree that's a mom's spaghetti cheddar Bob moment. That was the most amazing self-own.
Wait. Mom's spaghetti cheddar Bob? Can you unpack that?
Yeah, it's like knees weak, arms steady, mom spaghetti, and then in the end of 8 Mile, where he's like, "Yeah, I do have a friend named Cheddar Bob," and he's like doing all.
Right, okay.
He's like doing the end of 8 Mile.
Is this not a video store conversation that we're having right now?
Yeah,
100%. Oh my gosh!
Oh my God.
Real quickly, the face came off Parker's eyes.
Yeah,
It's face.
I think we might have
His new place to crash.
scarred Parker for life.
Wait, also the fact that Parker is my goal weight. Just
Parker is my goal weight. Is that a
I remember I
hashtag?
used to be my goal weight of Parker.
I undershot. That was before quarantine.
No.
That is terrifying. Okay, yeah.
He's my best friend.
How many faces came with? How many different faces
I
do you
haven't
have?
counted them up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Way more than the expressions I have. 6, 7, 8, 9 faces. That's too many for me.
That's a lot of faces.
That's
Even
a 6
larger
upside
Drews.
down.
Sometimes the puppet switches faces when regular Drew's not even around. There's a lot.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Aw,
And the funny thing about
that's
this
classic Drew.
The funny thing about this doll is that this got lost in the mail for a very long time. And we thought it was like Gonzo, and then it just showed up today, like magically. It was great. Trying to find my little clicker.
That's not nightmare fuel at all. Definitely not. Okay, well, guys, Adam and Drew, you guys have been our judges, you two, as well as our voters, obviously. You guys participated in our first, official, voting
Post
panel.
office workers
Yeah.
decided on 2 days or what?
Wait, what? Huh? What?
Yeah, you.
Oh, yeah,
Can you repeat the question?
Yeah.
Sorry if I broke out. I apologize. You say you guys participated in our first, unofficial voters panel, judge panel situation, essentially behind the scenes. How do you kind of feel? How do you?
That's
feel
bong rip Drew.
How did you like the judging process?
Hey, let's see. I got it.
Oh, this was great.
I thought having a ghost judge was fun.
It was really good. I think, I like the idea of saying the answer that we have for number 1 right off the bat, but then keeping number 2 and number 3.
Yeah. Just in case someone's up 2-1.
Like in case the person who lost number 1 lost number 2, you don't want to lose momentum for number 3. And it builds suspense. I really like the format. Also, I love being a ghost judge. I can't believe no one guessed it was me.
I'm sure someone guessed, but I don't know if a lot of people guessed, but I don't know if they guessed successfully.
Even the ghost judge was Dungeon.
Yeah, I mean that's fair. And one thing I think you guys didn't touch on so much, but I think was evident in the way that you guys gave your answers, especially Zipper with that last long rip. By the way, Zipper, that truck is going to be called Trayfully Yours, right? Or Keeping the
What?
Tray. Your truck should be called Keeping the Tray.
Oh, yeah, that works too.
Or Trayfully Yours, yeah.
Bad Jew's pretty good.
There's
Bad Drew,
yeah.
It sounds like
Anyway.
something you said. Bad dog.
I will say that you guys really embodied the spirit of the dungeon tonight. We're here to entertain. Like, we're not, we never forget. Nobody in the dungeon ever forgets that what we're playing is a game.
We're not here to win your stupid contest.
Well, we're here to win, but we're also here to, like, are you not entertained? We're doing this for the masses. We are doing this for bigger people than just our own egos. It's important to keep that in mind. Sometimes.
We just want to see the world burn.
Yeah, exactly. We are chaotic neutral. Great.
There's a lot of new stuff we're doing it. And also everyone in the chat, please let me know how you guys not like this new format. We're trying something new, and I'm just trying to make sure, we're able to do all the good stuff. Whoopsie daisy. But okay, moving over to.
That is sad, Drew.
Yeah,
that's me happy.
I don't want Drew to have that face. That looks sad.
Guys, that's my resting bitch face. Just don't worry about it.
Do you have Drew in Bespin fatigues?
Her hair is so real.
B-spin. I literally said
B-spin.
I said B-spin, and no one ever corrected me for a very long time.
Hey, who wouldn't correct you?
I said that everywhere, and no one corrected me.
George Lucas would not correct you. He would not correct people on the set when they'd say things. He's like, I don't know, maybe it's regional. Maybe that's how you say it. I thought that was so funny.
Like, one time I talked to George Lucas, and he thought he had the authority to talk about the Jonestown massacre because, as he said, I myself have invented a religious cult. And I was like, whoa, that is a bold claim, but it's absolutely true. But like,
I can't. He might.
Schmoebates has devolved.
That's definitely an argument.
I mean, but it's not like it's. Anyway.
Do not turn Schmoebates into me defending George Lucas for an hour and a half because I've done it before.
And that night, everyone clapped. Anyway, this is really good. I actually really like this format. I like being the ghost judge, and I also I'm sure it was fun for the audience because I was in the chat the entire time saying all the things I wanted to say.
I saw that.
Yeah, this is really fun. I think it's really fun to keep the ghost judge in surprise. I think this adds an element of it. It can always be really fun. It doesn't even necessarily. I mean, it can be. There's so many possibilities. The mind boggles.
I thought it was it's not bottling. Mind bottling.
Why would the mind bottle?
Having all your thoughts in a bottle.
That's what the mind does in.
It's a scene from Blades of Glory. It's like it's all mind bottling. Like when all your thoughts.
I think that's like a mind palace. No, it's the mind bottle.
No, it's a saying from the. He says it incorrectly in the movie Blades of Glory. Will Ferrell.
Yeah, he's saying it incorrectly.
Oh no, absolutely! It's purposefully. That's why
Johnny Mnemonic is mind bottling, right?
Hey, remember Johnny Mnemonic when Dolph Lundgren was killed by a dolphin, and it's like that's actually a very good mnemonic device.
God bless movies. Movies are better than people, right there. You proved it.
Can I say something kind of off topic, just real quick, guys? I finally watched most of Justice League. That movie's pretty freaking good.
Justice League?
Hot take. That movie's pretty.
I just watched it again. That movie's great. I'll take any takers.
Okay.
Everybody on in this. This is a great movie.
Right? I don't know. I'm not sure what that movie's doing wrong for people, but
that Danny Elfman score is great.
A lot of wrong for me.
Right? Bringing the Batman score and the Superman score back. So good.
Going over to our competitors real quickly. I do want to start with Eric. Congratulations, my dude. You did fantastic. You won 2 out of 3 questions.
I won something. You guys, I won something.
I know.
You're a winner.
If you get the golden ticket. Yeah.
So his legs work again.
Yeah. So, I mean, specifically, you're walking away with a win today. So, how do you feel about your arguments overall?
Feels good.
Yeah, no big deal. Yeah.
It feels nice.
This whole show feels like somebody left the internet with the keys in the door and forgot. They left the keys in the internet, and we all just came in and did
Guys,
this.
should we have a dungeon show?
I thought you guys already did.
We can talk about that once this show's over.
I'm asking the audience. I'm asking the audience how interested in you in seeing some dungeon-related weekly show where maybe we all live together in a house, and it's about who did the dishes and Piggy Smalls.
Right.
Shenanigans. There would be so many shenanigans.
I mean,
there's a lot of shenanigans, but I do want to mention real quickly. Eric, you did fantastic with our new format, and I'm really excited to see you move on forward. But Parker, you also performed amazingly well today.
Playing against Parker was amazing. Like you said, we were just throwing out at each other like, you're the best, man.
And that's honestly what I feel like the ethos of this game
Absolutely.
can be.
It's kind of interesting you say that because, when people talk about the best, there can really be only one person that's the best. And I think we have someone that really thinks he's up there,
Hello, Zipper.
What?
Hey, Ben.
What the
Surprise!
What does it have to do with the dungeon?
Surprises left and right.
He has nothing to do with the dungeon. However, he is arguably, actually technically not arguably, he did win our Schmoebates tournament not too long ago.
That's right.
Congratulations. Look at that glorious spiffy belt you have right there. Oh.
Yeah.
I feel like you just are always standing in a spot in your house with that belt on your shoulder, like holding a glass, right? That's just
fair,
like
so Smets. So that's fair.
Well,
I like belts. I like winning. So
you don't like Hamilton because I put that in a super chat and you shut that down real quick on backstage yesterday. So maybe I'm a little salty, but yeah, fine with it.
hello, Drew.
Well, overall, Ben, like I said, you won our tournament not too long ago. And what did you think of both Eric and Parker competing in, these debates today in this dungeon themed debate?
I think they're well-spoken gentlemen. I think they have a lot to say. I think they have a lot to learn. I'm happy to teach them. I congratulations to both you guys for doing what you do because it was a good match. It was fun to watch. It was great.
Thanks, I guess.
I don't want to start any rumors here,
Actually,
but Ben did show up when I started singing the song from Rocky IV, "You're the Best Around." Is that like Candyman? If you sing that, does Ben Bateman just show up?
I hope so. I'll sing it on karaoke to see if I can get Ben Bateman to show up on karaoke one of these nights because also Ben gave the most honest and meaningful breakdown of Warrior the other day from me and Alex's Cinema Bias that was
so
truly moving, like a deeply moving
Well, thank you.
Somebody put up Lon Harris's quote.
Yeah.
It's my favorite movie of all time.
Yeah. And I
great.
wouldn't have gotten that, or I would have been like, yeah, that makes sense. But then now I've seen it and I'm like, I kind of could see why it would be somebody's favorite movie. It's so beautiful.
Damn good.
It's a pretty great movie. All about competition, and Schmoedown is one of the best competitions out there right now.
Schmoedown has less Moby Dick references, but yeah.
Maybe. There's a lot of references for sure.
Unfortunately,
You're a Moby
so,
Dick reference.
I think we should bump those numbers up.
Bump the numbers up.
Bump the
Of
numbers.
of the Moby Dick references. I think it's a shame that we don't have more.
Yeah, it's
More
true.
harpoon.
Yeah.
That's a lot, absolutely. Well, Ben, do you have any words of advice for our competitors, for our Schmoebates competitors today about, playing future matches or anything? Or is there any? What do you also think of the new format as well? I would love to hear what your thoughts.
And what do you think of the dungeon?
Yeah, what do you think of the dungeon? That's a great question. Let's go.
Look at this, Dungeon Strong here. This is some Bitmasters right here.
Oh,
Dungeon's
God.
a cute faction. I think Alex, you do a wonderful job. I love the new format. I think you do a really great job with this show. I'm impressed every time I watch it. And my advice to any future Schmoedown competitor or competitor period who finds their way into Schmoebates is be one of the two guys that founded Action, and you'll have a good chance to win. And that's what I got to say. So you got a mountain to climb there, Zip. I look forward to seeing you in the ring. I hope you make it that far.
Wow.
Nepotism.
Wow.
Cool. Great.
Wow.
Yeah, he's been on brand for 2 minutes. We were just on brand for an hour and a half.
Now, let me ask you this, Ben. If you were looking at somebody to recruit from the dungeon over in the Finstock Exchange, who would that be?
I'll tell you what, I've learned my lesson. I don't speak out of turn. Those are decisions that Tom Dagnino, Bobby Gucci needs to make himself. All I can do is advise, but I can't speak publicly about that. I've gotten in too much trouble. I don't want there to be any sanctions coming down.
Gotcha.
I
That
hold
makes
no
sense.
responsibility for any decisions made, not on my shoulders. I'm just merely a
that's
player.
fair.
I just
Let me
work there.
try to phrase it a different way then. If you had to see one of the dungeon people going to the finals or getting a belt this year, without it, just with all things being equal, who would you like to see?
Well, it's Smets. He's like my favorite player in the league.
Okay.
And I believe in him wholeheartedly. He's winning on Friday. I know it. And yeah, I mean he's you guys. It's a strong faction. I like the faction a lot. I'm sorry to see that so far this year it's been a little more of a struggle. Obviously, it's tough competition. That's just the truth of the matter. It's a tough league.
Who was the audience rooting for at the end of Bad News Bears, though? Come on.
And you always want
the guys that look like Ben.
Dazzle. Otherwise, we're just playing a really serious game all the time.
Well, real quickly, like you said, could you show off a little bit of that belt for us?
Yes, I can.
It's
very shiny.
Let's zoom around that, like the Batman logo at the beginning of Batman.
Dun, dun. And if you don't mind, Ben, if you could just go over your...
That is handsome.
If you could just go over your training methods and like what you do to train and what you do for other competitors to help train, and I can just take notes for a second, get my audio recorder.
How'd you get your ring light situation fixed?
How did you're asking?
How'd you get that fixed? You
So
couldn't control that thing. It was a power you couldn't control for a while.
It was like
I had to get a new camera. I'm using a DSLR now, and
nice.
I just stopped using the camera. Yeah, so
the mother boxed up is what happened.
Yes.
Well, I mean, it's a nice camera, obviously.
Did you call me a mother box?
Camera.
Yeah.
Overall, I have to say, if I do say so myself, that is a mighty fine belt you have here.
It looks damn good. It looks damn good,
fine.
Alex.
Damn fine belt.
I do want to give
Is there a
shout
place
out.
where you could just get those made?
Yeah.
Like there's a place that makes belts?
Yeah. There is.
That's the news of the night.
I'll hook you up after the show.
All
right. Awesome. Okay, well, thank you so much. That's a beautiful belt, and thank you so much for Jake to actually designing it. He's amazing. We put that together, and we were able to send that out to him for winning our Schmoebates Championship tournament, not too long ago. It's pretty fantastic, and he won. He's undefeated. Ben is sitting at
Never
right
lost.
now, I think 5-0 technically. So it's amazing. All right. Okay. And over to Eric, my dude, you played fantastic. And real quickly, before we kind of wrap things up, is there anyone in the future you want to go a debate against?
Ooh.
Yo.
Who would I like to debate against? I mean, Drew would be great if we were going to do another inner dungeon situation, which this was great. Keeping it all in the dungeon. I love that.
All in the fam? Okay.
Mine will be entirely done like Hamilton. I think Ben's going to show up for that one. It's going to be really good.
And it's real quickly, just what I love a rematch as well. Yes, I would love a rematch as well. This is fantastic. And over to you, Parker, my dude. Even though you did technically lose today, you did amazing as a debater overall. Is there anyone you would love to debate in the future?
I want to play Zip again. Because this is a lot of fun, and I like there not being a lot of pressure, and we got to have some fun, kooky arguments, arguing against ourselves, and that was just a fun time. So, whoever, it's always a fun time to come out and just kind of talk Schmoedown and just kind of talk and debate. It's just a fun time. Enjoy it.
What's crazy, I'm still getting over the brilliant self-ownage. That's what Zipper just did at the end was that scene in every courtroom drama trope where it's hey, my client, he's a skis ball. Does he cheat on his wife? Sure. Does he owe the government lots of taxes? Yeah. It's just ripping on the guy, and then it goes, but is he a murderer?
Always a good scene. Always a good scene.
Always a good scene. Yeah.
They're
well, technically,
he's probably not if he's all the other bad things.
Yeah,
so that's like the devil. That's a scene in The Devil's Advocate. I'm pretty sure.
I know it's a scene in The Devil's Advocate because that's my favorite.
But did you die? Thankfully, no, I didn't.
I know it's rare to get a chance to ask a question to Ben Bateman. While I have him here, I just have to ask: is tomorrow chest and back, or is it buys and tries tomorrow? What do you?
No. That's not a question you asked Ben Bateman. The question you asked Ben Bateman. Hold on, I have a list.
You have a casual list just hanging around at all times.
I am 2 hours ahead of y'all, so I actually do have to go.
Parker's I will not entertain these questions.
I've had
Ben
computer
Bateman,
issues the whole
here's
night.
my last question.
I gotta go.
Ben,
Perfect.
like me as a person.
Drew,
Dude,
Grant, you're asking me that?
Yeah.
Yes, I do. Why would you ask me that? Of course I do.
Okay, that's good. Just want to make clear because I got,
You had that written down? You had to look at a book? Hold on. I've got a question too. Hold on, Ben, just hold on real quick. Let me just.
I'm just thinking word names for the night.
Am I pretty?
Questions.
Well, that was my
You
next
look
one.
good, man. I especially like your beard. I like your beard a lot. I think
Very
it's a great beard. I wish I could grow a beard
It's a
like
really good beard.
It's not easy for everybody to grow a beard like this. So
It's
yeah,
like
one of the things
the
we're
best
doing.
quarantine
What are you
beard.
in the Santa Claus for like 6? Like, it's great.
Hey, who knows? If I can't find work, I'm gonna have to Santa Claus this.
You know what I would
season.
love on screen? Both you, Adam, and Alonzo on screen together.
Ah, yes.
Oh.
Battle of the Beards.
Battle of the Santa Claus beards. I'm so here for it. Thank you so much, Ferris, for your super chat. We really appreciate it, my dude. Nice hello to you too, Ferris. And we also did get a stream lab not too long ago from, again, Movie Finobi coming in hot with your donations. Thank you so much, my dude. We really appreciate it. He says, because Jake needs a pile of cash. And that he does. He does. For everything he does for everyone within, not only with us, the C2A, but with a lot of personnel in Schmoedown. He does a lot behind the scenes, and we really.
He does.
That's so funny. I was about to say I don't think Jake does enough. Like, I don't know.
Definitely not. Definitely not. All right. Well, guys, thank you so much for hanging out with us. Real quick, over to you guys. Where can we find you? Everything you're doing, starting with Adam.
Oh, well, the thing I have to plug over and over is, if nobody's discovered it yet, is the Movie Guys. Subscribe to our podcast or go to our Vimeo page to see the Star Wars sports play-by-play. We do the entire movie as sports announcers, and it has to be heard to be believed or seen if you go to Vimeo.
It's so good. It really is. It's magical in every single way. Thank you so much, Adam and Eric, our winner tonight. Congratulations again. And where can we find you? You're working on?
You can find me on Twitter at Grog is here with 2 G's at the beginning. You can find me on Letterboxd as Eric Zipper. And I'm currently on a friend's podcast. They have a podcast called Storytime with Michael and David, and I'm telling them the entirety of the show Lost in installments. We're almost through season 1.
Oh, I will listen to
so
that.
if you want to hear me literally narrate all of Lost.
Dude, I'm being too hard to do that right now, but after training, that's all I want to do is go back, watch TV shows and the podcast.
I do not need an existential crisis on an island.
That sounds so good.
It's
but
the best.
I want to hear your voice talking about it. That's for dang sure.
If it's called We Gotta Get Back to the Island, would be a really good name for it.
It should be.
I'm sure
we're not to season 3 yet, but I'm gonna scream we gotta go back a lot.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. Anyway, stop talking.
And Drew, where can we find you? Speaking of not talking,
let's see
what you're doing, what we're doing.
Guess what, guys? I'm gonna keep it really brief tonight. You can go to my Patreon, patreon.com/VideoDrew. We just hit a big goal, so there's gonna be an announcement soon. You don't even have to subscribe. You can just follow because that's where my upcoming schedule is. Monday, Thursdays, we do Video Chronic pop culture quizzes. That's 20 question deep delves in one specific movie. Tuesdays, you can find me with Alex on Cinema Bias. That's where we talked about Warrior. Next week, we have coming up an education. It's movies that like filling each other's blind spots. Wednesday, I've been doing study sessions and also doing movie watch-alongs on Twitch through Amazon Prime. Friday, we do video karaoke at 8 p.m. on Twitch. And then Saturday is a rest day, except we're doing something special soon. And then Sunday is In the Dark with Video Drew, which is characters coming on in kayfabe. It's just a place to let the trivia go aside for a second and work on the world building of your weird characters and stuff that you don't necessarily get out in the promos.
Drew, one point of clarification.
Yeah.
You have an entire show where you talk about Cuba Gooding Jr.'s movie Warrior?
Yeah. Oh my God, no, it's
or no, I'm thinking Gladiator. What is there's a show where you just talk about Warrior?
No, there is no there's just a Warrior show. It's Warriors is the Warriors is the one with the people fighting in New York, right?
Yeah,
that's right.
Red
scarves,
red vests.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's what's coming out in play. That's the Warriors, and then Warrior.
Warriors, yes.
Yeah.
And
don't worry, I'll get that right.
And last but not least, the inferior part of Team Action, unfortunately. Over to Ben Bateman. Where can we find you and everything you're working on?
You guys can find me over at Action Industries, Nerds and Suits, which I do conversations every week with various people in the industry, Schmoedown people and others. Thanks, Jake. You're the man. And then actually, I've been doing a lot more gaming and music on Twitch. I'm actually going to be streaming tonight. In about 20 minutes, I'll be on twitch.tv/Ben Bateman streaming. I play Magic the Gathering over there a lot. I'm actually literally live on my Magic the Gathering YouTube channel. I was in the middle of a stream and was like, I'll be back, guys. And they're just waiting for me to come back.
I gotta say something, Ben. It's been really soothing. Like I really like watching your Twitch stream. It's just like it's very soothing. I like it a lot.
It's true. Yeah, it's just me just like mumbling through Magic things and expecting people who are listening to understand. I'm like, yeah, I'm probably supposed to block here. It's like 2 ones. Okay, I think we're
I will say Nerd Chronic has it on in the background of like every single night.
I used to play a lot of Magic, and there really is, out of context, it sounds more like gibberish than really anything else you can talk about. Like, 100%. It's great.
I'm actually really excited. My husband Lucas, he's actually just starting like a D&D group with like a bunch of people from the Bandit Brigade and the Action Army and a whole bunch of stuff. But there's like a lot of first time D&D competitors that are getting into it, and so it's a lot of layman's terms and everything. But like when I hear a lot of these stuff, I'm just like, they're talking about class and which weapons they're using, and I'm like,
query whether I would be really good at Dungeons and Dragons. Query.
Well, if you want to try it out, feel free to
I'm a beginner, but I feel like I would slay it. Maybe.
You never know.
Maybe.
You never know till you try, my dude. And there's a lot of beginners coming out and hanging out doing it. Anyway,
can I change my plug real quick before we finish? Because it is my parents watch everything I'm on. They love that I'm on these live shows. It is their anniversary today, so happy anniversary to Mom and Papa Razor.
I hope they got my card.
Salute.
That's so cute.
Congrats, guys. That's amazing.
That's awesome. I've never met them, but I love them.
You'd love them. We'll have to do a Zoom sometime.
Awesome. Yes. Happy anniversary. Absolutely.
There we go. Thanks.
Yes.
Real quick for mine. Happy upcoming birthday to my little sister, Hannah Grant, the best tattoo artist in New York, possibly the world. Really impressive. One of my inspirations. Her birthday is coming up on the 10th. So happy birthday.
Happy birthday to your sister. So what's her name?
Hannah. It's a palindrome.
Hannah?
Yeah. It's like the right name.
That's cute. I am Alex Mack, part of the Call to Action crew. You can find us in audio form everywhere podcasts are found, on Apple Podcasts and Spotify and all that good stuff. So please like and subscribe, not only to this episode, but everything else as well. We're trying to do okay and, grow the podcast overall. So we'd really like it if you did those things for us to really help boost a little bit of the love here with Call to Action. Here next week, we're trying to do this like faction by faction. So here coming up, we're going to be doing a Finstock exchange, debate, Schmoebate, which is going to be fun. And we're also going to be doing one for swag. So it's going to be a fun time over the next few weeks. So definitely stay tuned. And yeah, Cinema Bias on Tuesdays. We're going to be diving into an education here coming up. And we're going to be diving into a few other movies here pretty soon. There's a lot of movies I haven't seen. I haven't seen Face Off. I haven't seen One Over Cuckoo's Nest. There's a lot of stuff I haven't seen.
Those two movies are often mentioned next to each other.
Exactly.
By the way. I think the AFI put them right next to each other. Yeah.
Exactly. It's a double feature. There's a lot I haven't seen, so I'm excited, to hang out with you, Drew, and really dive into that. Also on Tuesdays and Thursdays now at 10:30 Central, I do Mornings with the Outlaw, where we dive into movie news of the week. So come hang out with us. We'd appreciate it. All right, guys. Thank you so much. We will see you soon. And you guys keep debating, keep having fun, and go check out Schmoedown.